Welcome to Meals on Wheels. I'm Diana Corey. I am going to show you how to make the best simple syrup, well, simple Syrian syrup. Say that 3 times fast. So it's going to be a little different. Things that we're going to include that normal syrup doesn't include: rose blossom water, or rose water, orange blossom water. I like orange blossom water more than this, so I'm going to kind of skew mine a little bit more towards orange blossom. So you're going to start with I usually like going for 2-to-1 ratio of sugar to water. All right, we'll take you live to the pot. So I have 4 cups of sugar, so I'm going to do about 2 cups of water to 3. I like a thicker syrup, but I think the recipe calls for like a 1-to-1 ratio, which I just don't think is enough. So I have 2.5 cups of water, 4 cups of sugar. Now the nice thing about sugar is you can get a lot of it in the water. It will really melt down, which is great. So I'm going to dump that in. Make sure you wash your hands before you start. I am a germaphobe, so I am very particular about washing my hands 1,000,000 times. All right. Let's see what we got. Get your stirring stick. It's going to be clumpy. You want to make sure that this melts completely, so there's no like thick white bits. You can't really see it because it's on a white spoon. Good job, Diana. All right. So you're going to want to let this come to a boil after a couple minutes, and a rolling boil. And make sure you stir fairly frequently so the sugar doesn't burn at the bottom, and to make sure all the clumps are dissolved. So keep stirring and wait till it comes to a boil, and I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Break time. Okay, now we have a nice rolling boil. So you want to drop that down to low. Nice. And once it's boiling, you want to turn the heat down and keep it at a low, barely simmering. I like to do that for like 5 minutes. I do it to try to thicken the sauce up a little bit and to just get a more condensed sauce, because you're going to pour it over a hot pan of baklava, and delicious. So in the meantime, you want to take a small lemon or lime if that's all you have. That's all I have. So you take, ideally it's a lemon. Take it, cut it in half, and squeeze the juice. You want at least a teaspoon. There. So once this has gone on for about 5 minutes, and you want to make sure you stir so it doesn't burn. You'll see like almost little crystals forming on the top. So at that point, you're going to want to pour in your juice. That'll keep it from like crystallizing and getting too hard. Just a little bit of there. That'll help it from crystallizing and getting hard. And it shouldn't affect the flavor too much, especially if it's a lemon. So after a few minutes, you're going to want to prepare and get your orange blossom water and rose water. For orange blossom, I like to pour about 3 tablespoons in. 3 to 4 tablespoons. For rose water, I don't really care for rose water, but I think it makes it a more complex flavor and smell. Reminds me of cathedrals in Spain. Delicious. So you know, I'm probably putting in a tablespoon. I'll probably put even half that, because I just think it's just too overpowering. So you don't want to pour it on yet. You want to wait till you're done cooking it, because the flavor will cook off if you do that. So I'm gonna let this boil for another 2 minutes, and I'll see you back here. All right, it looks good. It will never get fully thick while on the stove. So if you keep boiling it, thinking it's gonna thicken, it really won't. So at this point, you want to remove it from the heat. Kind of letting it cool down. I'm going to add my orange blossom water, because if you add it when it's too hot, it could melt off or burn off and it's flavorless. Okay. Here, that there. Well, I know, normally I'm like, you know, not in my pajamas, but it's like a multi-day process. I rendered the butter yesterday, doing this, so on Thursday I can just hit the ground running. All right. Put that in. Smells like childhood. Okay, that. And this. Again, not too much. And voila. Let it cool, and then put it in a Tupperware, put it in the fridge. It can last for months. This is good in a soda stream, in your coffee, in ice cream, or on top of ice cream. A million uses. Friends of mine made soda out of it with their soda stream, and they said it was great. So, I would love to do that. But, yeah, it is good in the coffee. Once this kind of cools, and you might see crystals form on the side of your pot from the sugar. Just make sure all your sugar's melted. There. There we go. Yeah, it's a million and one uses. And taste it before you put it in the fridge. Make sure it tastes, you know, once it cools, before you put it in the fridge. Yeah, see if you need to add more orange blossom water, rose water, and just kind of alter it to your taste. Usually the Greeks, who I always grew up thinking that the Greeks couldn't cook, they use just honey. Yeah. So making your own. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Excuse me, sir. Sir? Can I help you? Can I help you? What do you think you're doing? No. No, sir. Cats. My husband said we should, he's like, yeah, I'd love to have a cat house someday. I'm like, you know that means whorehouse, right? I was like, I'm so on board with this. And he's just like, oh, okay. You seem really enthusiastic. I'm like, let's have a cat house. I can run it. I'll be the madam. He's like, what? It's like, someone didn't see real sex when they were kids. Anyways, so this is step 2. First was the clarified butter. This is the syrup. Refrigerate it and get ready for Thursday. Whoop, whoop. I'm gonna take my box cutter and I'm gonna go make a mushroom hat for a commission.